This is Talk of the Town, a weekly program featuring community events happening in and around Northeast Michigan, with your host, Nancy Smitham, and the latest news from Alpena Community College with Dr. Olin Joynton. And now, today's Talk of the Town.
Good morning and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Nancy Smitham. My first guest today is Tanya Spence, who's here from the Real Fun Ice Fishing Tournament. Hi, Tanya.
Hi.
Well, one thing about the Real Fun Ice Fishing Tournament, the past 2 or 3 years we've had to worry about enough ice, cold weather, not being cold enough, so I don't think that's an issue this year.
No, I'm not worried about ice at all, and hopefully the weather will be a little bit warmer, and so safety, we should be just fine in February.
Yay! And for those of our viewers that don't know what the Real Fun Ice Fishing Tournament is, it's the premier, the best, top-of-the-line ice fishing tournament held anywhere in our area. So start us out and tell us about it.
Well, this is our 6th year, and it's the top of Michigan's Real Fun Ice Fishing Tournament, and all the proceeds go to benefit the River Center. What's unique and kind of cool about this tournament is the day before, all the holes are pre-drilled, so you don't need an auger, you don't need a fishing shanty. Actually, you're not allowed to have a shanty. Yeah, right? And we'll drill probably about 1,200 holes. And each fisherman or angler will come out there, and at 9 o'clock they go through security. We check everybody's buckets and their bait, and they go out and they choose their hole. For the next 3 hours or so, they can come up to the center where we have the fish weigh-in station. There'll be food from Cooking for a Cause. We'll have all the prizes there. The Thunder Bay Walleye Club will be selling raffle tickets for shanties and different things. And then at noon, a shotgun will go off and all the lines go down. So you can imagine 1,000 anglers dropping their lines, and instantly people will be running up with their fish to weigh them in. And this only goes for 3 hours. It's a real quick event, and in 3 hours you weigh in as many fish as you can, and we pay out on the top 30 prizes. And this year we've kind of kicked it up a notch. First place is a 2014 John Deere Gator, a side-by-side.
Unbelievable.
Yes, in the past we've always given away a quad. But you know, even just with the John Deere Gator, the next 29 prizes are just, they're awesome. Frank's Great Outdoors donates huge shanties. We have probably 5 or 6 shanties that are portable shanties that will be on the board. Augers, a smoker, a chainsaw, T-shirts, sweatshirts, coats, jackets, all sorts of things.
And one thing about your prizes is you can get a fish this big and win a wonderful prize because the prize line is structured.
Yes, you know, actually none of the fish have really been that big that even have won first place. But let's say you're in 5th place and there's a $500 shanty. Well, you might get bumped down to 28th, and it might be a $1,000 shanty.
Right.
So it's kind of just a little more random instead of going from biggest to smallest prizes. Even 30th place is always one of the nicer prizes. So if you get last place, you might be happy with last place because you're going to win something a little bit better.
And you can bring somebody with you to fish if you want, but they can't have a fishing pole if they sit with you by your hole, correct?
Right, yep. Family is welcome. It's really a family-oriented event. We had in the past, when we had clear ice, we had kids out there figure skating and ice skating in between the holes. Yeah, only people that have a ticket can fish, but we encourage people to come out just to hang out, enjoy the food, just the spectacle of it all, seeing 1,000 people in all these holes in one small area on Grand Lake. That's always a good time. Plus, if you just even buy a ticket and you don't want to fish, because it's going to a good cause, the funds go towards the River Center, but each ticket is available for the raffle, where we're going to raffle off a 42-inch TV. At the end of the day, at 3 o'clock, we'll be pulling one of those 1,000 tickets, and you could win a TV just for showing up.
And at the end of the day, you know what prize you've won, and if it fits, you can take it home.
That's right. We just give it to you right then and there, and you go off with your new shanty or your auger or whatever it may be, and it's really fun. And the good thing is it's free fishing weekend.
Yes.
A lot of people don't fish very often, and they don't want to buy a ticket, and you know, they don't have to.
Right. All right, so how much are the tickets to fish?
The tickets are $25, and like I said, there's only 1,000. We have sold out in the past, and I think with the new prize this year, you might want to go buy your tickets sooner rather than later. So $25 a ticket, and they're available at Clem's Bait and Tackle, Alpena Chamber of Commerce, and they're also available at Buck's Bait. Top of Michigan, being one of our big sponsors, a lot of their facilities actually have them available too. So if you're in one of the other areas, you can go to Top of Michigan Insurance and pick up a ticket there, or just get more information. They'll direct you.
And you're doing a really fun event on Friday night this year.
Yes, the night before. We've wanted to do kind of a kickoff, but we didn't want it to just be all for the fishermen. It's called the Real Fun Festivus. It's going to be at the Aplex here in Alpena, and it starts at 6, goes till midnight. $15 gets you a ticket into the facility. We are going to have Chinese raffles with, again, fishing shanties, things from donated all through from Alpena. There's going to be, your $15 includes a pasta bar, so there'll be different pastas, different sauces, and things like that for dinner. Thunder Bay Winery is going to be there doing wine tasting, so you could try different wines with your pasta. Then we'll go into more raffles, prizes, and things like that. And then at 9 o'clock, we have a DJ called Are You Ready for Dancing till midnight. Cash bar. It should be fun. It's 21 and older. Not a ton of tickets are going to be sold. All the proceeds, again, will go to the River Center. But it's going to be more of a fun thing. And it happens to be Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So it doesn't, where it's not couples by any means. We're hoping to get a lot of these fishermen and locals that just want to do something a little different for Valentine's Day to come and check it out.
Now, where are those tickets available?
They are available at Neiman's Family Market and at the Alpena Chamber of Commerce. And they're $15. And there's more information on our website about that as well, and you'll see posters throughout town.
And that website is?
www.icefishingalpena.com.
And I know you still have some opportunities for sponsors, for prizes out there. How do we get in touch with someone about that?
You can go on the website and they'll give you information, or you can contact me at 989-464-2274.
Okay.
One thing we are doing differently this year, if you just want to be a vendor on the ice, let's say you want to sell jewelry or you want to sell some sort of prepackaged food, we already have a food vendor, or you've got tip-ups that you make or anything like that, lures, it's $50 to be a vendor. We'll set up a spot for you on the ice, and we're hoping to have like a little shanty town where you can go shopping while we're waiting, because there's 3 hours where people are just waiting to fish. So it's a great opportunity.
All right, once again, Real Fun Ice Fishing Tournament, Saturday, February 15th at Grand Lake. Tickets are available at Clem's Bait, Top of Michigan Insurance, Buck's Bait, Alpena Chamber of Commerce. And then Friday night, the Festivus, the fun event. Even if you don't plan to fish on Saturday, come on down. A pasta bar, wine tasting, cash bar, lots of fun. Tickets are only $15 a piece and tons of prizes.
Yes, tons of prizes, lots of good giveaways. So.
Well, and all the proceeds go to the River Center, which is going to be so exciting and so wonderful. And what you've already been doing down there is amazing. And the Interpretive Center and all the good stuff that's going to come, a really worthwhile project in our community.
Thank you.
So please thank your committee and everyone for all their help and time and energy.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I'll be right back following these messages.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Olin Joyton, president of Alpena Community College. My guest this morning, the Reverend Paul Lance of the First Congregational Church of Alpena. Welcome to the program, Paul.
Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for coming out. And how about giving members of the audience a little bit of background on you, where you grew up and your calling to the ministry, and then your arrival in Alpena.
Well, thank you for the offer. It's interesting that one of the alma maters of mine is Alpena Community College. I don't know if you realize that.
That's terrific.
But I'm class of '74, so
great.
You are my president, and I'm a lumberjack.
Well, no wonder you sound and look so smart.
Oh, well, thank you. Very kind. I was an Alpena High School graduate in 1971, which was a couple of years after Dr. King's assassination, so that's the age group that I'm in. And I felt the call to ministry at the church I'm now serving. It was 30 years ago that I was ordained there at the First Congregational Church. Reverend Bob Case and Jack Fitzgerald were there. Some of your viewers will remember those names as movers and shakers in this community. And just in September of this past year, I was invited to come and be the pastor at the church where I grew up.
Isn't that a nice way of achieving closure?
Coming home. Well, I hope it's not closure yet. I hope I've got another couple of decades still in me.
Right, exactly. What have you done in between?
I was in the Army for 4 years, where I met my wife, who was a chaplain's assistant. I was a chaplain's assistant. Then we went to seminary. My first church was in Zurich, Switzerland. My second one was in Dowagiac, Michigan, just south of here. And then my last 25 years I spent in my wife's hometown of Long Beach, California. So we were in that sunny southern weather, and we're back again in the chilly north and getting used to it and enjoying it. It's beautiful. nice to be home.
Well, that's great. Thank you for that summation. A very interesting life and much more to come. And I appreciate your return to Alpena and look forward to interacting with you as we will do here shortly in a series of programs at Alpena Community College on January 20th to honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And so you've been a leader of that program. How about giving the audience members an idea of what's going to happen on that day?
Well, it's actually going to be quite a full day. The 3 events at the college are key because they're open to the public. Anyone who would like to attend is welcome to. The first of those 3 events will be a film. And the film is about 8 men from different cultural backgrounds who address their fears and their concerns and inherent racism that they weren't even aware of until a Latino and a couple of white men and a few Asians all got together in a room and discovered the stories they wouldn't tell each other. It's a powerful thing, and Matt Dunkel, one of the professors, one of the faculty members there, will be moderating that discussion. That's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
2 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday, the 20th of January. And where will that be?
That will be in Van Laer Hall. Okay, so right on the premises. On
the south side of Johnson Street there.
Okay, thank you. You know the area better than I do, even though it's been 40 years since I was there. The earlier part of the day, Linda Jaramillo, who's the keynote speaker who will be present for the Chamber of Commerce breakfast as a trainer of the business community and the politicians and the folks who have to deal with diversity in the workplace and some inherent racism and some questions of the demographics of Alpena and how things are shifting. She'll be present to do some training with the Chamber of Commerce, which is a wonderful breakfast opportunity for those members. And then following that, she's been invited by the International Cultural Exchange student group at Alpena High School to present a full assembly. And she'll be a keynoter in that role. Also, I believe, speaking about some of her own experiences as a Latina American being raised in Colorado, where she was definitely a minority, and the struggle people have as to how much do you try to assimilate and how much of your own culture can you own.
Very good.
She went on from that to become a professor, a minister in the United Church of Christ, and worked very hard in Portland, Oregon, to bring together the Latino community and the African American community. So she's got a lot of history she'll bring into those talks with the young people.
That's terrific.
And then back to the school after the film, there will be a chili supper, which will be a fundraiser for some of the local communities. Dottie and Bill Hayes have been key in that. The Grace Lutheran Church, the St. Paul's Lutheran Church, my own First Congregational will all be involved in helping that chili dinner. And then, fit with food, we will be invited again onto the campus to hear the keynote that Linda Jaramillo will bring to the community at large in the evening at 7 o'clock.
So a number of events. How is this event being publicized, this series of events?
Well, actually, the college has a lot to do with that, too. They put together this beautiful poster, which you'll start to see all around town.
Oh, that's great.
It's got Creating a Beloved Community as the theme of the event. And the events, the film at 2 o'clock, the 5 o'clock chili supper, the 7 o'clock Creating a Beloved Community event, that will be at the college in Newport Center. 106.
That's great.
So, and all of those are open to the public, and there's no charge for any of them. This was put together by your printing and design group. So all these.
Rupert, I believe.
Rupert, yes. All of the folks that you'll see this around town everywhere, publicizing.
Is there a phone number where people can call for information, or?
They're welcome to call our First Congregational United Church of Christ, because we are the hosting organization technically for the person who is going to be there.
Good.
And so you can feel free to call at 356-1795.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for your activity involved in commemorating a great American.
Yes.
I recall being aware of his campaign for civil rights as a teenager, and I recall vividly the day that he was assassinated, and it was a turbulent time then. If you were to sum up his life and legacy, the significance that it has for us as Americans, what would that be? Just in a minute or so.
It's a big challenge for a minute or so because it's a profound impact. I think you're right. That time where he was leading the charge and making people face the inherent racism that they didn't often want to face. There's a lot of shouting and shaking and police activity going on. He did win the Nobel Peace Prize. He patterned a lot of his behavior after Gandhi's nonviolent resistance, that we can change the world one heart at a time. He stood, when he was assassinated, he was standing for the garbage workers in Memphis, Tennessee. And I recall he was also assassinated on Palm Sunday, which was a trauma for that Holy Week.
Well, I can say that as a result of his work, I can say there's much more racial peace in the United States than there was during the time that he was alive, and so I consider that his contribution. Thank you so much for being the guest, for leading this effort for our community benefit.
Thank you for the honor of the invitation.
You're welcome.
This has been Talk of the Town with Nancy Smitham and Dr. Olin Joynton. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on Community. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.